Hey everyone, this is Onimesh. So these are the highlights for this week's check-in call with my online training members. I answered some questions regarding nutrition, training, injuries, varying training intensity, and all kinds of things. So why don't we hop into this video and just have a look at some of the conversations that I had with a couple of my online training members. All right. All right, guys. So since we have a lot of people today, what we'll do is I'm going to give all of you 5 minutes to take your time and just give me a brief about how this last week was, what problems you faced, what were the highlights of the week, and then we are going to just kind of take it from there. Yeah. So let's, Vishnu, we can start off with you if you want.
Yeah, so I think it's set. Yeah. No problems specifically. I think we're just continuing with trying to building up to that volume. So continuing on that
Yes.
for now. And yeah, I started tracking my food and everything. So uh, yeah, I'm surprisingly eating a lot lesser than I thought I was eating. Even I'm not. It's not like I'm trying to consciously cut down what I'm eating. I'm just eating whatever just feels about right and enough, and I'm hitting like at best it's like 1800 calories a day. And I know based on last week we talked about doing trying to get more than that, but yeah, I'll have to put an effort into eating more, but I also don't feel like I need to be doing it. I don't know, maybe later on it might show up where I'll see the effects of not eating enough. I guess I'm confused about that at the moment.
Hmm. And as
But
opposed to, so 16, 1700, as opposed to how much should you be eating? Do you remember the number that we calculated?
I think we mentioned around like 2200 or 22 to 2400 roughly.
Okay. So it's not a lot.
It's what we,
A lot.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm. So,
So I don't see any problem with physically, I don't feel any issues, what I'm trying to say.
it's not. I'm very sure that with a 500 calorie deficit, you're probably not going to feel it physically. But for us, it's not really about feeling. Like feeling has pretty much nothing to do with it. What we are concerned with is actually getting the calories higher so that you can start shedding off some of that weight. So for
Right.
that to happen, we need that calorie to at least reach the baseline once.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
so let's try. Are you tracking it on Healthify Me or any some other
Yeah.
app?
It's
Healthify
on
Me.
Healthify.
So
Yeah.
Healthify Me is going to give you a good idea of where you can kind of make up that deficit. So for example, if you have a 800 calorie meal and as opposed to that you're only eating 500, so you know you have to fill up 300 more in that particular meal. So depending on what macronutrient you're lacking, I mean, you can go to the insights and see what you're lacking,
Right.
lacking more of carbs, fats, or protein, whatever it is, and you can to use that and see in which meal you can fill that up, and then you can kind of start increasing the calories from there. I still think 400 calorie increase should not be that much of a hassle. You will probably
Yeah.
not even feel it, but I don't want you to do it right away. I don't want you to go tomorrow and look for a 400 calorie meal that you can add, because that will feel very unnatural. You will feel like you're overeating, overfeeding. So you want to gradually get up there. So
Yeah.
maybe just like, let's say if it's 1700 this 1600 this week, then maybe for the next 2 weeks you can just focus on consistently getting 1800. That's it. That's all you need to worry about. And then we can revisit
Right.
this again and kind of gauge if you're feeling something else, if you're feeling bloated, if you're feeling like it's a bit excessive, and and just take it from there. Dinesh, you there? Okay, so now,
Hello.
hi.
I was talking on mute. I didn't realize.
Okay, okay, go
Uh,
ahead.
so I didn't face a lot of problems. In terms of like making up my calories, there was an issue. I mean, I was not able to get up to 3,300 this week. So some days I was able to get 3,100, but other days it was like 2,300, 600. So it was pretty fluctuating, and that's because my training volume has slightly increased and travel time has slightly increased.
Hmm.
So my one training was in Andheri, other was in Grant Road. So that's where the problem was happening.
Hmm.
Uh, then other than that, there was the ankle twist which I faced last this Sunday,
Hmm.
and that was causing a lot of issues. And other than that, there was a knee problem which
Hmm.
I described
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah.
So last week it was like on and off, but this week I think because of the training volume has increased, it was persistent, and the pain was somewhat like 1 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, other than that, I had a doubt of my split squat isoform. So what happens is when my right leg is ahead
Hmm.
and my support leg is left leg behind, right?
Yeah.
So my body support is almost on the little toe and not on the big toe, because of that misalignment.
Hmm.
I'm not able to like keep it straight. So if you can, see the video, I just wanted to ask, is that fine, or how can I improve? So normally when I do split squat, I don't face any problem. But
Yeah.
since I already had sprained that ankle,
Yeah.
left ankle, so I was feeling it more on the outer side of the ankle that day.
Hmm. Hmm. So see,
So
your
could
foot.
it be probably because of the sprained ankle, or is it because my weight is distributed more out
No, no,
like
no.
little on the little toes?
No, no, no. I mean, it's the same thing. So, I mean, the reason you're feeling it on the outside of your foot is probably because it is distributed to the outside of your foot, and the reason why it is distributed to the outside of your foot is the sprain. So, if something is hurting and you're going ahead with the hold anyway, then your body is going to compensate for it somehow. So, you're just not putting the weight on that toe right now. It's outside. So you really have two options here. Number one is to just regress the load down and not lift as much and try
Hmm.
to load it more on the medial side. So shift more load to the medial side. And option number two is just it doesn't matter. That's option number two. It's all right if the weight is on the outside. If your toe is hurting, then
Okay.
there's no reason for you to load up the toe, just for the sake of it. So it's okay if you're kind of loading
Okay.
on the outside and just have that toe in contact with the ground. It's all right.
Yeah. Other than that, there was a knee issue.
Hmm. So how are you dealing with the knee issue?
So I mean, there's no interference in my training as such now. It's just that after the training, I feel that, I mean, it's just a persisting pain on my outer side of the knee. It's along the IT band near the knee.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And when
So
does this
how I
pain
deal is
start?
I just get those high repetition of extension and flexions,
Yeah.
and after that I'm pretty much fine to go for training.
Okay. Then that's good. No problem. So does it hurt mid-training? Does it flare up mid-training? Can you try to describe the pain a little better? When does it start? Yeah. When does it end? You've described, but when does it start? What are the triggers, usual triggers?
So sideways movement and accelerating is mostly triggering.
Okay. And it starts off mid games when you're playing on the pitch.
No, I don't even realize it. I realize it like afterwards.
Okay, you realize it afterward.
Only now that you asked me that what are the triggers,
Yeah.
uh, only in the last training that I did, which was on Friday,
Hmm.
it started mid training, and I was not able to go 100% after that point beyond the training.
Hmm.
uh, yeah, only it was on Friday that this happened. So after that I talked to you and you told me that reduce the volume of like
Yes.
overall training by 40%.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'll do that. And
I meant ball training. I didn't mean all the training. I just meant just your time on the pitch. Reduce that by 40%.
yeah, I understood.
Hmm. Okay, carry on.
Yeah, so I will do that this week and see how it's like going.
Hmm. 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 Perfect. So my why I asked you to do that is not because in decreasing ball training volume is going to help the problem in any way, but it is going to. It's one of the simplest things that you can do to see if there's a change, if there's a difference, and like let's say by reducing the volume, yeah, you notice some kind of a change, then we can ask better questions. That yeah. So then we can ask this question again, that what is affecting the knee pain? Why is it there? So that's why I asked you to reduce the ball training, and just in general, if you reduce training volume by a little bit, you you take the foot off the gas just a little bit, it helps.
Yeah, I mean, last week was too much of gas, I think. Uh, I mean, for the first time in after a long time, I'm not feeling any pain in my hips. My hips feel really good. So it was really tempting for me to go all out, like even in the matches and practices.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think so. I went too much in the training.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, training twice, even gym and in games, it was a lot. So I think so I should take a step back and then again go ahead.
Yes, yes. And in general also, it just always makes sense to have some variation in the like just this if you try to understand how you're kind of spreading the training intensity. What we personally try to do in training is we try to vary the intensity either session wise or week wise or something. We build and then we come down. We build and then we come down. Up and
Yeah.
that's very important so that you can overall for longevity. It's very important so that you can manage training stress. So with your ball training also with your football also it's very important to kind of have some off weeks, some down weeks, so that you can have some weeks where you're just going for 100%, going for 90%. So if you know that you have a week where you're going for 100%, then you should make sure that the week after that you come back even lower than where you start. For example, let's say you're having 4 weeks where you're kind of training at the same intensity. Week number 5, you decide that you want to
Hmm.
up the intensity and go a little higher. Then week 6, you need to come
Hmm.
back lower than where you were in the first 4 weeks, even lower than that. So you want
Okay.
to create a deload effect. So just like your
Okay. So my question with this is, will my baseline like overall go up and up? Say, so my like to frame it better, it's like, will my capacity to handle more volume go up as I keep varying this training intensity? So let's say the unit is from 1 to 10,
yeah.
right? And at this point, I'm just able to handle from the ranges of 4 to 1, right? Intensity 4 and 1. So will over time I'll be able to handle like 7 to 10. Like will my range of intensity will change if I like keep wearing this?
That's a very good question. It will never be absolute like that. So you will never, neither is it absolute right now, nor will it be absolute later on. What is going to happen is you will have to decide at which week you want to be at a point where you want to handle level 8 of intensity. So when you
Hmm.
decide which week you want to do that, then you want to game plan your intensity accordingly. If you know that on a particular week for a particular week you need to be thriving at level 8, then you need to kind of build up towards that, and you need some weeks at, okay, you want 2 weeks at level 2, then you want 2 weeks at level 4, 2 weeks at level 6, right? So you're climbing up to 8, then you need to come down to 7, you need to come down to 5, and then your target week needs to be at 8. So it has to go
Hmm.
up, then you want to taper it off, and then you want to climb up again. So it's
Got it.
not
Got it.
absolute. You cannot just become a person that's just always handling level 8 of intensity. Because if you're doing that, then what you're doing
Hmm.
is you're kind of saturating yourself at level 8. So you're not really at level 8. You're just perceiving level 8 of exhaustion, right? You're perceiving that level of
Okay.
exhaustion. That's about it. It's not like you're able to thrive at a level 8 intensity. To thrive at a level 8 intensity, you need to fix what week do you want to do that at, or what number of weeks you want to do that at, and then you want to game plan accordingly. So it has to go up, then it has to come down also. All right, thank you for making it so far into the video. If you've watched the entire thing, we have these conversations, these check-in calls every single weekend. Of course, this wasn't the entire call. The entire call usually lasts a couple of hours, and it's very intensive. We go into the depths of a lot of different things, and I feel like this is a pillar of the online training programming. This is what really makes the programming work, having a constant feedback system, a system for communication, brainstorming, problem solving, game planning, and all of these things. So, if you're interested in joining the online training program, you can email me. I'm putting my email right here. And I'm going to be uploading highlights of these calls every single week. So, be on the lookout, subscribe, share with your friends. And overall, my goal is to just help everyone improve their area of awareness general pool of awareness, because it helps you make better assumptions, audit your own conclusions, and just always ask yourself what is hidden from you, what you do not know, so that you can learn new things, apply those things, and learn and grow as a coach. Alright, I'll see you guys for the next one.